Take a nurse working in Lagos. Every month, she faces arbitrary compliance holds and systemic friction simply trying to move her own money. Or an engineer living in Berlin, losing a significant percentage of his income to remittance fees when sending support back home. Meanwhile, a truck driver in Texas with a history of steady, productive income receives yet another automated credit denial. These three people share a single bottleneck. They are trapped in a legacy banking architecture where institutions act as gatekeepers, measuring financial worth through outdated credit files. By labeling productive human beings as thin file, the current system effectively removes massive segments of the global population from the formal economy. To bypass these corporate intermediaries, millions turn toward decentralized public ledgers, looking for a way to actually own their financial identities. But those early networks operated without clear rules. Users were met with confusing interfaces, rampant fraud, and systemic collapses. The underlying technology to build decentralized public goods was functional. The problem was the absence of a regulatory framework, which pushed capital and engineering talent offshore. Building a durable, scalable financial system requires a specific structural solution: the technical agility of a decentralized network paired with the legal safety of a traditional institution. The regulatory fog lifted with the passage of the Genius and Clarity Acts in the United States. Look closely at the Securities Act of 1933. It established the baseline rules for modern equity markets. The Genius and Clarity Acts provide that same foundational architecture for digital assets. For the first time, U.S. law makes a clear legal distinction between centralized corporate entities and decentralized networks. This classification elevates tokenized stablecoins and savings protocols from a fringe experiment into legally protected financial infrastructure. With clear guardrails in place, builders can now take these regulations and use them as the base operating system for global wealth. Under this new legal regime, the black box defense for artificial intelligence is dead. If an algorithm makes a credit decision, regulators demand a transparent explanation of the logic. Old banking locked users into custodial silos, but raw crypto networks remain too complex for the average consumer to navigate safely. Modern protocols solve this by writing consumer protection directly into their code. This diagram shows raw user data moving through automated security gates, where impact assessments, bias checks, and reason codes are generated continuously. The bridge between the two is an autonomous AI agent. It acts as a secure guide, translating complicated on-chain interactions into plain language. While protecting the user's profile, these agents work in the background, executing liquidity management and cross-border settlement without taking custody of funds. These AI guides turn a chaotic public ledger into a personalized banking experience, where the user retains total sovereignty over their capital. This brings us back to the mother sending money across borders. Look at this interface. She is looking at a path to a pre-approved micro-mortgage on her mobile device. That approval did not come from an arbitrary credit bureau score, which she lacked. Instead, her AI agent built a synthetic credit identity, a real-time financial profile constructed entirely from her actual economic behavior. The agent aggregates alternative data points, a history of consistent rent payments, mobile airtime top-ups, and verified on-chain diaspora remittance flows, packaging them into a single, cohesive identity. Using AI to analyze these decentralized signals allows financial institutions to accurately extend credit to non-traditional borrowers, maintaining strict systemic safety while fully complying with federal regulators. The combination of the Clarity Act and autonomous agents replaces the traditional intermediary model with automated on-chain logic. This structure allows the value generated by productive activity to stay with the users, rather than flowing into legacy institutional fees. Because this architecture is built for the high compliance environment of the U.S. market, it creates a technical blueprint that other jurisdictions can adopt to integrate their local economies into global trade. Measuring what people actually do, rather than what a centralized file says about them, is now a functional reality of the global financial system.